Hey, what's going on, everybody? Movie Phantom here, and yes, my boy, the 13th Wolfman, brought the question of the week back last week, or 2 weeks ago. He said he was going to do bi-weekly, but I think he did one last week. I don't remember. I'm sorry. It's been a long day for the Phantom. It's been a long day. But the question of the week is, we talk about, clearly, we're all about horror here. And unfortunately, mainstream horror just isn't what it used to be. It does go in booms, but unfortunately those booms don't last that long. And I think arguably the biggest boom was in the 80s. And unfortunately I was a kid. I was a baby. Like I was born in 85, so like I missed all that shit. Like to me, I didn't start thinking about box office until 96, 97. And of course we was in the midst of another boom. Unfortunately it wasn't nearly as big and it didn't last as long. However, the question is, what would you do to possibly bring horror back up to that big, mainstream horror back to where it's just phenomenal. Like, it's just fucking huge. Like, almost every other weekend there will be something in the theaters playing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, because right now, as it is, I don't think it's been too bad this year. I think it's come back, but it's clearly not to where it needs to be. For me personally, when I think of, just the great horror films, they're all director-driven. Halloween, Night of the Living Dead, The Shining. They all had visionary directors behind the scenes. Now, I'm not saying every horror director is a Kubrick or, a Carpenter or a Romero. But at least those were the directors that had the vision and they were allowed to put it out there. And I think that's what's lacking today. Let's not kid ourselves. It's a business. And studios are going to do what's good for business. Unfriended was made for 10 grand. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's ridiculously low. I read the number, I was like, son of a bitch. Literally, I can win on a scratch-off ticket and then do the movie like they did. I mean, literally, that's how cheap this movie was made. Now, when it released to really shitty reviews, and it only made $1 million or $2 million at the box office, which would cripple any movie. However, it was a profit. It was all profit because they made it for so cheap. In fact, they're going to do it again. Unfriended 2, coming soon. And guess what? They're probably making it really cheap too. Because, fuck it, you'll go see it. Hell, we saw it. I regret it. It was one of the worst experiences this year. But we saw it in theaters. They got our $7.50. Or $15, I guess. But that's a problem. It's just there's no creativity anymore. And it seems like if you want creativity, you do have to go to the, limited, I don't want to say just straight up indie, but it does seem like it is, it's where it's all at right now. Because as far as mainstream horror goes, really the only one out there, the only two names I can think of that are still kind of rocking it, it would be Eli Roth and James Wan. And, I think after The Conjuring 2, I'm pretty sure Wan's going back to whatever Hollywood epic, because he just did Furious 7. And he did awesome at it, I hear. I didn't watch it because Fast and Furious sucks balls, but it's he's already had a taste of mainstream, and he came back, he did a horror movie. I feel like he's probably going to be one of those guys who's going to be I know where the money's at. I hope he's not. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he stays with horror and keeps cranking out great movies. But let's face it, when it comes to Hollywood, horror, it's all remakes, and it's all just predictable bullshit. And I hate to say that. What would I do to fix it? I would bar studios. I would just be listen, just fucking distribute it. That's all we need you to do. We just need a platform to show these movies, and that's it. Shut your fucking mouth, stay in the goddamn office, worry about the family movie, worry about the big cartoon that's coming out this summer, it's supposed to make a lot of money. Worry about that shit. Leave the horror alone. Just flat out. Poltergeist. Are you fucking kidding me? That was just a fucking, if there's ever an example of a studio where a movie just made clearly for the money with with zero passion, it's Poltergeist. Boom, right there. I would say let the directors and the writers do their thing and leave them. And that's why Blumhouse does great, because granted they don't throw a lot of money at them, but at least their directors are working, outside the box just to bring something to us, Say what you want about Paranormal Activity and the franchise, but guess what? It works. And these guys, well, at least the first one. After that, yeah, they just kind of mimic and copy the rest of them, but whatever. It works. It was different. We don't have enough of that. I think that Hollywood's just watering shit down intentionally. I'll give you an example. We're going to break away from horror for a second. Last night, me and Maya were laying in bed. We're watching Bad News Bears. Not the remake. The original. And as I'm watching this original movie, I was like, holy shit, this movie could not be made today. It just couldn't. It couldn't be made today. You got the little blonde kid throwing out racial slurs. You know, you got little Freddy Krueger smoking cigarettes on his Harley. He's like 11 years old. He's smoking. The kids are drinking, they're celebrating drinking beers after they lost their game. That would not fly today. In fact, it didn't because they remade it, and that movie is horrible. And I hate that because, honestly, if you've ever seen the Bad News Bears remake, I think Billy Bob Thornton did great. I mean, he did his shtick, he did his bad Santa, but it worked, and it was funny, but then it's just like the script itself just couldn't do it. So it's like he was trying his best to carry this movie on his shoulders, and it just wasn't happening. Hollywood wants to play it safe. The Exorcist, another great example, would not be made today. It just wouldn't. Literally, if you go up to Warner Bros., who originally put it out and said, here's a movie, and we're going to have this 12-year-old girl, masturbate with a crucifix and say lines like, your mother sucks cocks in hell. And you know what? They're going to be like, yeah, get the fuck out. No, we're not doing that at all. I think we're just too PC, and maybe that's another piece of the puzzle there. We need to literally not worry about hurting or offending or, whatever. Just tell a story. Just tell a story. Quentin Tarantino will drop at least 4 N-words in a movie. And you know what? It may offend some people, it may hurt some people, they may get butthurt, but guess what? He's a damn good storyteller, and it works. He's not doing it just to do it. It fits the story. Let these people tell a story. That's all I'm saying. So I know I'm rambling, I'm sorry, man, but if to sum it all up, give the power back to the directors and the writers and take it away from the studios. They should just be there to distribute this thing on a stage and back away. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be a home run every time. No, let's face it. No, it won't. But I think it's a step in the right direction. And I think once we get to that area, once we start going that route, then we can improve upon that. We'll know who to weed out and everything else. But I think it's what it's going to come down to. Black Christmas, another example. In the original one, she already had the abortion. She had the abortion. The word abortion was not brought up once in the remake. And it was just a simple fucking glossy slasher. With no originality. Paint by numbers. And there now the studio was fucking happy. They're like, oh, yes. Oh, fuck. That's how you do a movie right there, folks. And then it went out in the theaters, didn't do shit, got horrible reviews, and then boom. Nothing after that. No originality. No balls. No balls to do anything anymore. So yeah, to reiterate, just let the director and writer have their creative control. Studios need to keep their fucking mouth shut, count their money, and stay in the office. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Alright. Well, I'm out. Guys, go over, check out 13th Wolfman's channel. You guys got a lot of good stuff every week. And of course now every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, he's doing the question of the week and a top 5. We just did a top 5 video. Go check it out. And yeah, that's all I got to say. So, I'm out.